Hi, I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
Good morning, welcome to the Red Bull Ring. Let's join the action trackside as the cars are about to appear for today's practice session. Now then, Anthony Davidson, there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about track limits. How much is too much when you're cutting corners and running wide? What are your thoughts on this? And do you think we'll be seeing drivers pushing those limits this weekend?
Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, frankly. If race control want to clamp down on drivers wandering off the track, then it's up to them to police it. As a driver, you're being paid to get your car around the circuit as quickly as possible, don't forget. So if you're not pushing those limits, if you're ignoring the advantageous line, then you're not doing your job properly. Now, I agree that, we have these white lines there for a reason, and we do want to see those limits enforced, but for me, it's not a driver's responsibility to do that.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon where qualifying is about to start here in Austria. So sit back and enjoy the afternoon session. Qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are Hamilton, Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
What a beautiful backdrop to a motor race. We're here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and they've watched over some cracking races throughout the history of this Grand Prix. Controversy, of course, think back to 2002, but also great joy. Do you remember Niki Lauda's historic home victory in 1984? The Red Bull Ring then, 700 metres above sea level. This tough circuit may only have 9 corners, but they're fast and they're bumpy. It's a true test for any racing driver. We have 2 DRS zones and watch out for overtakes into turn 2 as the uphill entry helps those trying to be the last of the late breakers steam up the inside. I, for one, can't wait to get started. And there's another very excited little chap here beside me as well. It's our very own Anthony Davidson. Great to see you again today.
Thanks for that, Crofty. And I'm really anxious to get underway here. We've got all the makings of a great race today. World champions in competitive cars, lots of drivers on form, and I suspect a few strategists on the pit wall looking to try something a bit different and maybe jump their cars up the order.
We're in a very good position today. Let's see if we can do even better in the race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Rosberg, and McLaren, and Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen, Alonso, and Felipe Massa, Ericsson, Nasser, Sergio Perez, and Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Gutierrez, Romain Grosjean and Jolyon Palmer, Sainz and Harry Anto, Pascal Wehrlein and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
safety car is out, and the safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. The track is clear. Green flag. Some information on Gutierrez. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. Pit window is open. The pit window is open.
A great win then for the Mercedes team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Look at where Roman Grosjean finished compared to where he started. That's a really strong performance, so driver of the day has to go to him, I think.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.